Well, hello, my beautiful and amazing crafters. Welcome to another video of Crafting with Shaneda. In today's video, I'm going to show you how I made this adorable leprechaun cat just in time for my granddaughter's school project. So my granddaughter had a really cute school project. So normally I do create my own files and cut them out. But in this case, I was a little bit under the weather. So I had to go to plan B. So I was able to purchase this file online from an Etsy seller. I will put the information in the description box below. And this is actually a PDF file. But I'm going to show you today how I changed this to an SVG file. So that way my Cricut could cut it out. So here is the file. It comes as a PDF. It's ready for you to print and just cut it out by hand. I must admit, having a cutting machine makes things easier. I don't really like cutting things by hand unless I really have to. As a PDF, I went ahead and just saved it onto my desktop, and then I headed over to Canva. A little disclaimer, I do have Canva Pro, so I don't know how it is for the free version. I would think it would be the same steps, but I have Canva Pro, so there's a reason why I like the Pro. So I went ahead and added those to 5 blank pages. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to scale them down a little bit so I make sure that each of the design fits on the page. I'm going to choose to save this as a PNG file with a transparent background. Now I'm going to head over to Cricut Design Space and upload that PNG. Okay, so I'm getting ready to upload the file into Cricut Design Space, and I just want to give you a really quick tip, because sometimes I get this question asked a lot, and I gotta remember there's some people that are just new to Cricut Design Space, new to crafting, so sometimes you just gotta stop and explain so everybody's on the same page. So in this version of Cricut Design Space, we're in March of 2025. You can upload the file 3 separate ways as you see here. So you can upload your file as a multiple layer, which is a Cricut Access feature. I don't have Cricut Access, I have the free version, so I'm going to bypass this option. So I could upload my file as a single layer, which is also known as your SVG, or a flat graphic, which is also known as a PNG. So remember, in Canva, we saved the file as a PNG, so I'm going to upload it as a PNG. But I like to look at the single layer, because if there's any issues with the file, I know what I need to do to make some adjustments before I go to cut the file. And I'm going to show you on the next upload what I mean. So for this particular design, I'm going to choose a flat graphic, so that way my Cricut can cut around these amazing images here. And because because I uploaded the file with a transparent background, it will come transparent. If there's any reason it does not come with a transparent background, you could click and remove the background in Cricut Design Space as well. So I'm going to bring it in, and as you can see, I'm getting this little error message. It's letting me know that the file, the way it is, it's too large for my print and cut dimensions. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to auto size it, so that way the file will fit in the print and cut dimensions, and that's perfect for me because I don't have a specific file size for this design. Now I'm going to go back and do that with the second PNG that I saved. I'm going to click on it just to remove the background. So if you forget for whatever reason, you can still remove your background. I'm going to zoom in so I can show you that now it's a clear background. I'm looking at the single layer, it looks good, and I'm going to bring it in as a flat graphic. Now I'm going to do that for the third file. So far it looks really good. I'm going to make sure I don't have to have a nice clean background. And this is what I'm pertaining to when you bring in a file, and why I like the single layer when I bring in a file that I did not create. As you can see, there's these little ripples towards the end of the file, and I know that's going to affect me when I go to print and cut my file, it's going to cut with those little ripples around the edges. So my workaround is I'm going to bring the file in. I'm going to auto size it. And then I'm just going to bring in a square or rectangle, and I'm just going to size it to match the design. And basically I'm going to make my own version of these 3 strips, because I do have like a gold flaked strip saved in my Cricut design space. So I'm going to change this to a print then cut. And under the print and cut option, I'm going to go from color to pattern. And I'm going to look for that gold pattern that I have saved and I've used before in the past. So I'm going to go ahead and select this. So now my print and cut will be now this design. And I'm just going to duplicate it. So these will be my 3 gold strips that I know will cut nice and clean with my Cricut machine. Now that I have everything sized, it looks good. I like the way it, now that I have everything sized and it looks good, I'm going to make sure to save my design, and I'm going to send this to print and cut. And the cool thing about this is I don't have to cut out each individual design to print and cut, because I brought it in as that transparent background. Cricut's going to cut around each single one of these elements and do all the work for me, so I don't have to separate each of them one by one, and I could get started on the project. So let me show you how many pages. I think it's going to be a total, it's going to be 4 pages that I'll have to print and cut, because Cricut Design already auto-sized the file, so it's going to fit nice and snug and use up every inch of the Cricut's print and cut dimensions. Okay, so I printed out my design. I just used regular cardstock, 65-pound cardstock, and I'm just showing you that you can laminate this to give it a more make it more sturdy, or you can just print it as it is. Since it's a school project, I'm just gonna print it as it is, since it's a school project and it's gonna be coming right back home. So I went over to my local Dollar Tree because I picked up a few things that I wanted to use for this project. I wasn't sure if I wanted to. I found this really cute contact paper I could wrap my box with, some mesh. I picked up this green vinyl. I might be using it for my AKA grass, and some other little goodies that I thought would be a good idea for the project. You don't have to spend a lot of money. You can use stuff that you have around the house, or, you know, all your projects can be budget friendly and still look good. Okay, guys? But some candy, and I don't know what I'm going to use yet, but we're going to take everything upstairs and let's start putting this all together. So I'm going to move this contact paper and put it to the side and just get everything nice and organized now that I cut out all the elements for this project. It's so much easier than cutting it by hand, but there's nothing wrong with cutting by hand. But I got a Cricut machine, so. Because at first I was going to make the design pretty large, but I did remember this is going to be carried by a 6-year-old, so I wanted to make it very easy for her to carry and small but still cute. So I decided just to scale it down a lot. And I have this piece of foam board in my craft stash that I'm going to use as the base of my design. And I'm just going to size it up next to the box. I don't want it too large for her to carry. So I decided to use the green vinyl that I picked up from my local Dollar Tree, and that's going to act as my grass for this design. And I gotta admit, this vinyl was very easy to cut and it was easy to place on the poster board. So for $1.25, if you're starting out your craft stash, this would be a really good brand to pick up, especially if you're going to be practicing on different vinyl settings. A really good buy. So now that I adhere the vinyl to the poster board, I'm going to start laying out all the elements, and I'm going to have my little helper come in and start working on this project together. I decided to go with the Kleenex box. Thought it was just a better look. It was going to be easier for me to work with. So I could have cut this with my Cricut machine, but I'm just going to go ahead and cover the tissue with the contact paper. Again, I got this also from my local Dollar Tree. So I covered all the sides with the contact paper, and I have my little helper help me with that. And for the top, I just cut a little hole out of the contact paper because that was going to act as the little trap where the leprechaun gets caught trying to get that gold. So I'm gonna put that aside, and now we're going to start working on the little street using those little pre-strips that I made. We're going to just adhere them down. I decided to use double-sided tape. I definitely could have used glue or even a hot glue gun, but I decided to use double-sided tape so that way my helper could help. And then we're going to put the little arches on as well. So we finished adding all the elements that we cut out, the little 4-leaf clovers and the cute signs. I ended up making one little sign that said Fate's Goal, which was, I thought that was a cute touch to the design. And this was such a fun little project for her. She really had a good time using her imagination, and we just let her place all the elements where she wanted them to go in the candy. And just keeping, and this is a great way to include the kids in crafting as well. This project came out so cute. I was very proud. I love the way everything turned out. At the end, I decided to add this really cute leprechaun on the back with some lights. We had to add a little bit of light and flare to it. And this was definitely fun to do. And the teacher and the classmates loved the way this project turned out when she turned it in. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you learned a little bit or a lot, and we cannot wait to see you on the next video of Crafting with Shaneda. Happy crafting!